Listen closely. You could devour every book ever written, binge watch every video available, and whisper affirmations of self-love to yourself 1,000 times over. But if you fail to grasp this singular truth, the authentic love you desperately seek will remain perpetually beyond your reach. Today, I'm not offering you abstract theory. I'm handing you the key, a secret that has remained concealed until now. A profound truth unearthed by Carl Jung himself, destined to forever alter the very fabric of your relationships with yourself and those around you. Are you prepared to unveil it? The very fact that you're watching this suggests that something deep within you already senses there's more to discover. This isn't merely about passively accepting the shadow or achieving some superficial balance of energies. It's about actively taking these concepts and applying them in a way that fundamentally transforms your life's trajectory. By the time this video concludes, you won't just possess a deeper understanding of the reasons behind your struggles to feel truly loved. You'll also walk away armed with a clear and actionable strategy to revolutionize your relationship with yourself, and consequently with others. This isn't about dwelling in theoretical realms, it's about taking decisive action. Your relationships aren't random occurrences. What draws you to others, or conversely, what repels you, is a direct reflection of unresolved issues simmering within your own being. Consider the last person who evoked an intense emotional reaction within you, whether it was overwhelming love or profound frustration. That individual is more than just a fleeting presence in your life. They serve as a mirror, reflecting something profoundly buried within your own psyche. Perhaps you consistently find yourself drawn to individuals who trigger feelings of insecurity within you, or perhaps you're perpetually frustrated by those who exhibit traits that you consciously reject within yourself. Today, you're going to learn precisely how to utilize that mirror to unearth the long-neglected aspects of yourself that are desperately crying out for attention and healing. Because until you embark on this journey, you will inevitably continue searching for love in all the wrong places. The pivotal question isn't, why does this person behave in this particular way? The truly insightful question is, what is this person revealing to me about myself? This concept, this mirror, the relational mirror, possesses far greater depth than initially meets the eye. When someone triggers a strong emotional response within you, you're essentially experiencing a projection of your own shadow self. Scrutinize the patterns in your relationships. Do you repeatedly find yourself drawn to people exhibiting similar characteristics? Or do you consistently avoid certain types of individuals altogether? Both of these reactions are equally revealing, offering valuable insights into your inner world. Attraction and repulsion are merely two sides of the same coin. Both serve as crucial indicators of something significant within your internal landscape. When you feel intensely drawn to someone, ask yourself, what specific qualities do I admire within this person? Could it be that these are qualities that I haven't fully cultivated or expressed within myself? Perhaps you deeply admire someone's inherent freedom and spontaneity because you've lived a life that feels excessively structured and controlled. Conversely, when someone intensely irritates you, ask yourself, what precisely is it about this person that bothers me so profoundly? Could it be that I possess that same trait but have consciously denied or repressed it within myself? Maybe arrogance in others triggers you because, deep down, you grapple with your own superiority complex, one that you're profoundly ashamed to acknowledge. This level of self-awareness is truly transformative, but it demands brutal honesty. You must cultivate a willingness to confront the parts of yourself that you've diligently kept hidden, even from your own conscious awareness. And it's precisely within this profound recognition that true healing begins to take root. The most challenging relationships in your life are often your greatest teachers, offering invaluable lessons. That individual who consistently irritates you, they might just hold the key to unlocking those neglected aspects of yourself that are desperately yearning for attention. It's no mere coincidence that certain individuals appear in your life's narrative. They serve as karmic messengers, illuminating the path toward your own personal integration. Remember, just as others reflect aspects of you, you also serve as a mirror for them, reflecting their own inner world. When you truly understand this profound dynamic, you cultivate both compassion and a sense of responsibility in your interactions with others. You begin to recognize that when someone reacts negatively toward you, they aren't necessarily reacting to you as an individual. They are reacting to the reflection of themselves that they perceive within you. Instead of reacting defensively, you can choose to respond with understanding and empathy. The purpose of this transformative work isn't solely to identify patterns, it's to actively transform them. Once you consciously recognize which aspect of yourself is being reflected in a challenging relationship, you can begin the process of healing that particular part of yourself. And as you consciously integrate those previously rejected or underdeveloped facets of yourself, your relationships will begin to evolve naturally and effortlessly. This intricate process of integration doesn't happen instantaneously. Don't anticipate immediate results. Instead, observe your emotional reactions as if you were a detached scientist meticulously studying a fascinating subject without judgment, only with genuine curiosity and openness. Over time, you'll undoubtedly notice that the people who once triggered intense emotional reactions within you will gradually lose their power over your emotions. The healthier and more balanced growth relationships you seek will begin to manifest in your life. Instead of attracting individuals who reflect your deepest wounds, you'll begin to attract those who mirror the healed, whole, and authentic version of yourself. You'll no longer desperately seek in others what you fundamentally lack within yourself. Instead, you'll forge connections based on shared wholeness rather than emotional dependency and neediness. Authentic love is truly only attainable after this profound journey of self-discovery and integration. When you extend love from a place of wholeness rather than lack, your relationships transform into spaces for mutual growth and support rather than sources of emotional fulfillment. You no longer harbor the need for someone else to fill your internal emptiness. You are inherently complete within yourself. Hey race, the ultimate truth, the very part of yourself that you consciously reject is the same part that is actively working to sabotage your relationships. You cannot experience love fully and authentically if you fail to accept all facets of who you are. Reflect on the aspects of yourself that you dislike, the aspects you actively try to conceal from the world. That constitutes your shadow self, the shadow. And until you actively integrate it, you will inevitably continue projecting your insecurities onto those around you. For instance, if arrogance in others deeply bothers you, it's highly probable that a part of you harbors a deep-seated fear of being perceived as arrogant yourself. Or if you consistently find yourself drawn to individuals who make you feel insignificant, it's because deep down a part of you actively try to conceal from the world. That constitutes your shadow self, the shadow. And until you actively integrate it, you will inevitably continue projecting your insecurities onto those around you. For instance, if arrogance in others deeply bothers you, it's highly probable that a part of you harbors a deep-seated fear of being perceived as arrogant yourself. Or if you consistently find yourself drawn to individuals who make you feel insignificant, it's because, deep down, a part of you doesn't feel big enough. Here, you'll uncover the path to integrating the shadow, not to achieve an unattainable perfection, but to embrace wholeness. Because authentic love, in its truest form, blossoms only when you accept every facet of your being. The shadow isn't merely a repository of negativity, it also holds the keys to your untapped potential, your unrecognized gifts and talents. When you reject parts of yourself, you fragment your very essence, erecting an invisible barrier that obstructs the profound connection you crave. But when you courageously embrace all that you are, you cease the futile search for external validation. You become love, and from that place, true connection becomes inevitable. This fragmentation is what drives us to seek in others what we cannot accept in ourselves. Every time you harshly judge someone, you are facing a mirror. That quality that irritates you so much in another person is merely a reflection of something within you that remains unacknowledged. Pay close attention to your most intense reactions. Within them, you will find the most valuable clues about yourself. Perhaps you despise vulnerability in others because you fear your own fragility. Or maybe you criticize excessive ambition because you have not allowed yourself to recognize your own desires for success and recognition. The shadow also manifests in your romantic attractions. We are drawn to people who freely express what we have repressed. If you feel irresistibly attracted to dominant personalities, ask yourself, is there a part of me that longs to express more power and authority? If you constantly seek partners who need to be rescued, you may be projecting your own need for care and attention. Breaking the cycle. Relationship sabotage occurs subtly but persistently. Perhaps you fear abandonment, so you push people away before they have the chance to leave you. Or maybe you fear being controlled, so you resist any suggestion from your partner, even when it is reasonable. These patterns are not random. They are defense mechanisms of your unintegrated shadow. Integrating the shadow requires courage. The first step is to be willing to see it without self-judgment. Whenever you feel an intense aversion to something in another person, ask yourself, where does this exist within me? Not to blame yourself, but to know yourself more deeply. Integration also involves expressing repressed aspects of yourself in safe environments. If you have suppressed your creativity, find spaces where you can freely express it. If you have denied your need for connection, allow yourself to be vulnerable with trusted people. Over time, these rejected parts will transform from hidden saboteurs into sources of strength. If you constantly seek people who make you feel secure, it is because there is a part of you that does not feel safe. Here, you will discover how to use authentic love as a tool for growth, not as a goal that frustrates you. When we view authentic love only as a source of pleasure and comfort, we lose its deeper, transformative power. Growth relationships are life's most intense classroom, the clearest mirror of our inner world. Every person who enters your life comes with a specific lesson, and until you learn that lesson, the pattern will repeat itself. The faces may change, but the essence remains the same. Relational patterns are not accidents. If you examine your romantic history, you will find recurring themes that connect seemingly different experiences. Perhaps you always end up with emotionally distant people, or maybe you consistently attract those who need to be saved. These patterns are invitations for self-reflection, signals pointing to internal wounds that need to be acknowledged. Attachment theory teaches us that our earliest bonds shape patterns that repeat in adulthood. If, as a child, you learn that authentic love is inconsistent, you will unconsciously seek inconsistency in your adult growth relationships because it feels familiar, even if painful. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward transforming them. The true purpose of romantic authentic love is not to make you happy, though happiness can be a beautiful side effect. This purpose is to reveal aspects of yourself that would otherwise remain hidden. It is in intimacy that your deepest fears, defense mechanisms, and unexpressed desires come to light. Authentic love is not just about finding the right person. It is about becoming the person who can love deeply, fearlessly, and consciously. When conflict arises in your growth relationship, the most valuable question is not, who is right? But rather, what is this situation teaching me about myself? Perhaps your disproportionate irritation over a simple comment reveals a deep-seated insecurity. Maybe your constant need for control is actually masking a deep fear of abandonment. These insights, while often uncomfortable, are treasures for those seeking personal growth. Attractions, too, serve as powerful teachers. When conflict arises in your growth relationship, the most valuable question is not, who is right? but rather, what is this situation teaching me about myself? Perhaps your disproportionate irritation over a simple comment reveals a deep-seated insecurity. Maybe your constant need for control is actually masking a deep fear of abandonment. These insights, while often uncomfortable, are treasures for those seeking personal growth. Attractions, too, serve as powerful teachers. They draw you toward aspects of yourself that you have yet to fully integrate. If you deeply admire someone's sense of freedom, it may be because you long for greater freedom in your own life. If you find yourself captivated by another person's creativity, it could be a sign that there is an artist within you waiting to be expressed. Your most intense attractions are not random. They are maps guiding you toward unrealized aspects of your own potential. Heartbreak, while painful, presents an extraordinary opportunity for growth. When a relationship ends, you have two choices. You can blame the other person and continue repeating the same patterns, or you can turn inward and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? The difference between these two responses determines whether you become bitter or wiser from the experience. Mature love does not seek perfection in a partner. It seeks mutual growth. A relationship rooted in this mindset is not only about individual happiness, but about shared evolution. In this kind of relationship, every challenge is embraced as an opportunity to expand, to break limitations, and to heal together. Paradoxically, when you embrace love as a tool for personal growth, happiness comes more deeply and sustainably. You no longer depend on perfect circumstances or an ideal partner to feel fulfilled. Instead, you find satisfaction in the process of evolving, of knowing yourself more intimately through the mirror that your partner provides. The shift begins when you stop saying things like, I always end up with the same kind of partner, and instead start asking, why do I keep choosing this kind of partner? This change in perspective restores your power. You are no longer a victim of fate or the actions of others. You become the conscious creator of your relational experiences. Embracing love as a path to self-growth requires courage. You must be willing to confront uncomfortable truths, to question deeply ingrained beliefs, and to let go of identities that no longer serve you. But the reward is immense: more authentic relationships, deeper self-awareness, and the ability to love from a place of freedom rather than from a place of need. Breaking toxic patterns. Why do you always find yourself in the same kinds of relationships? The answer lies within your subconscious. The patterns you repeat over and over again are not mere coincidences. They are signals that there is something within you that needs healing. For instance, if you consistently feel drawn to people who make you suffer, it is likely that there is an unresolved emotional wound seeking attention. If you always seek validation from your partners, it may be because a part of you feels unworthy or unseen. Today, you will discover how to identify these patterns and break the cycle so you can create healthier, more conscious connections. Because until you do, you will continue attracting relationships that leave you feeling unfulfilled. Toxic relationship patterns are like invisible cycles that repeat with mathematical precision in your life. You may change partners, but the underlying dynamic remains the same. This phenomenon is not a curse, nor is it bad luck. It is the result of deeply rooted subconscious programming that influences your choices without you even realizing it. These subconscious patterns are often formed in childhood, when you first learned what love meant and how relationships worked. If you grew up in an environment where love was conditional upon performance, you may now find yourself constantly seeking approval in your adult relationships. If affection in your past was often accompanied by criticism, you might feel strangely comfortable in relationships where conflict is present. The famous phrase, "what is familiar feels safe," explains why we unconsciously repeat unhealthy relationship patterns. Your brain is wired to seek the known, even when the known is painful. This is why many people leave one toxic relationship only to find themselves in another eerily similar one. The first step in breaking these patterns is developing self-awareness. Observe your relationship history as if you were watching a movie. What themes keep repeating? Do you always end up feeling abandoned? Are you drawn to emotionally unavailable people? Do you tend to lose your sense of identity in relationships? These repetitions are not coincidences. They are clues pointing to specific emotional wounds. Behind every toxic pattern lies a limiting belief. If you constantly attract people who betray you, it is likely that, deep inside, you hold the belief that you do not deserve loyalty. If you always find yourself in relationships where you feel controlled, you may unconsciously believe that you are not capable of directing your own life. These beliefs act like invisible magnets, drawing experiences that confirm them. Neuroscience teaches us that these patterns are not merely psychological, they are also neurological. Through repetition, you have created strong neural connections. Breaking these circuits requires constant awareness and the deliberate creation of new experiences that contradict your habitual patterns. A powerful exercise is identifying your emotional triggers, those specific situations that elicit disproportionate reactions. Perhaps a simple delay from your partner triggers an intense fear of abandonment, or maybe a casual comment about your appearance activates a deep insecurity. These triggers are windows into your core wounds. Healing begins when you take responsibility for your patterns. This does not mean blaming yourself, but rather acknowledging your role in the creation and maintenance of these cycles. As long as you see yourself as a victim of circumstances or of others, you will remain trapped in repetition. The power to change only arises when you assume responsibility. Breaking patterns requires reconnecting with your body. Relational addictions operate similarly to other addictions. There are somatic signals that precede compulsive behaviors. Learn to recognize how attraction to toxicity feels in your body. There is an intense excitement, a false sense of security, a comforting familiarity. This recognition gives you the opportunity to consciously choose instead of reacting automatically. A fundamental step is setting clear boundaries, both with others and with yourself. If you find yourself losing your sense of self in relationships, create rituals that ground you and keep you connected to your own essence. If you're consistently drawn to people exhibiting narcissistic patterns, it's crucial to define the behaviors you simply won't tolerate. Boundaries, you see, are acts of profound self-love, disrupting those self-sabotage patterns that hold you back. Real transformation, the kind that truly changes you, happens when you dare to embrace the new, even when it feels unsettling at first. Now, if you've always gravitated toward drama and intensity, a calm, stable relationship might initially strike you as, well, boring. This discomfort is perfectly normal. It's a sign you're forging new neural circuits, new pathways for experiencing connection. Remember, breaking free from old patterns isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process, a constant dance. There will be moments of regression, those tempting urges to slip back into the familiar. But each time you recognize the pattern and consciously choose a different path, you strengthen your newfound way of being. Neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself, is on your side. With every new choice, you're literally reshaping your brain. The ultimate aim isn't some mythical relational perfection, but rather the self-awareness that empowers you to choose freely. When you're no longer a puppet, dancing to the tune of unconscious programming, you can create relationships that truly reflect who you are now, not the lingering echoes of past wounds. You can love not from a place of lack or compulsion, but from a place of wholeness and freedom. Authentic love and self-love. Authentic love isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you actively create. When you love yourself unconditionally, love ceases to be something you desperately seek and instead becomes something you embody. This is the paradigm shift that changes everything. Because until you truly grasp this, you'll keep searching outside yourself for what can only be found within. Love isn't something you give or receive, it's something you are. And when you live from that place, your relationships stop being a source of suffering and become an expression of your truest self. Because love isn't a destination, it's a journey, a continuous unfolding. We've been raised on the notion that love is something external, a force that finds us if we're lucky enough. This romantic narrative, while beautiful in its way, places us in a passive, dependent role. We wait to be chosen, to be seen, to be loved. But this perspective fundamentally misunderstands the true nature of love. Authentic love emerges from within you, like a wellspring, not as something you must extract from another person. When you depend on external sources to experience love, you create a self-perpetuating cycle of lack. Like a vessel riddled with holes, you'll never be able to truly fill yourself. Love that comes from the outside is always temporary, conditional, and limited by another human's capacity. The paradigm shift occurs when you recognize that you are the primary source of your own experience of love. You don't need anyone's permission to love yourself. You don't need any qualifications or credentials. Self-love isn't a reward you earn for being enough, it's your birthright, your natural state. When you remove the barriers you've built against yourself, the practice of unconditional self-love becomes revolutionary in a world that has taught you to value yourself based on your productivity, appearance, or achievements. It means honoring yourself when you fail just as much as when you succeed. It means speaking to yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend. It means recognizing your intrinsic worth, independent of any external validation. As you cultivate this loving relationship with yourself, a profound transformation occurs in your external relationships. You no longer approach others from a place of need or emptiness, but from a place of wholeness. You no longer seek in others what you lack. Instead, you generously offer what you already have in abundance. The beautiful irony is that when you stop desperately needing love, you become more capable of experiencing it deeply. Your relationships then become spaces of expansion, not completion. You don't seek someone to make you happy, you share the happiness you have already cultivated. You don't expect another to heal your wounds, though you may grow alongside them. You don't depend on someone else to feel valuable, though you celebrate the value they see in you. This shift transforms the very nature of your attractions. When you operate from lack, you attract people who mirror your unhealed wounds. When you operate from wholeness, you attract people who reflect your integrity, who resonate with your frequency of self-love. It's the difference between an attraction based on addiction and an attraction based on affinity. The practice of self-love is not narcissism, in fact, it's the very opposite. Narcissism arises from deep insecurity, from an inner void that seeks constant validation. Authentic self-love comes from recognizing and honoring your complete humanity. It allows you to see others with greater clarity and compassion because you no longer project your unmet needs onto them. A transformative exercise is practicing conscious self-compassion. When difficult emotions arise, fear, sadness, anger, shame, instead of judging or suppressing them, embrace them as part of your humanity, not as flaws to be eradicated. This radical acceptance changes your relationship with your internal experience and, by extension, with everything external. Remember, love is not a goal you reach, but a daily practice. There will be days when loving yourself feels more difficult, days when old voices of self-criticism resurface. Do not be discouraged. Every moment of awareness is an opportunity to choose love again. Every time you reconcile with yourself after a moment of disconnection, you strengthen your capacity for authentic love. The greatest paradox is that when you stop seeking love as something you lack, you discover it has always been there, like a fish desperately searching for the ocean while swimming in it. You have been immersed in love all along. Your task is not to find it, but to recognize it, to allow it, to express it first toward yourself and then naturally toward everything around you. This is the secret that mystics and sages have shared throughout the ages. Love is not something you do, it is something you are. And when you live from that truth, every love is something you lack. You discover it has always been there, like a fish desperately searching for the ocean while swimming in it. You have been immersed in love all along. Your task is not to find it, but to recognize it, to allow it, to express it first toward yourself and then naturally toward everything around you. This is the secret that mystics and sages have shared throughout the ages. Love is not something you do, it is something you are. And when you live from that truth, every relationship, every encounter, every moment becomes an expression of that loving essence that is your deepest nature. Authentic love isn't a prize handed out for being good enough. It's a state that blossoms when you wholeheartedly embrace yourself, light and shadow combined. Nobody will ever love you as profoundly as you are capable of loving yourself. That's the key right there. The instant you truly grasp this, love ceases to be a quest and transforms into an outflowing expression of who you essentially are. If this message resonates within you, pass it along to someone who needs to hear it. And if you're eager to continue this exploration of transforming your life from the inside out, subscribe and ring that notification bell. Always remember, love isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you cultivate. And that journey starts today. Thank you for sharing this journey with me, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Until next time.